For joining us this evening, the Waterbury woman who allegedly helped her stepson captive for 2 decades is due in court tomorrow. As this case has grabbed national headlines, even headlines around the world, it's also grabbed the attention of Connecticut lawmakers and our governor.
Today, for the first time, the governor previewed potential changes to Connecticut's laws in response to that case in Waterbury. News 8 political reporter Mike Cerulli live at the Capitol with more on that. Mike.
Darren, Catherine, good evening to you. You know, when the governor first heard these allegations, like the rest of us, he was shocked and appalled. Today, he was urging lawmakers to come to the table with him to examine Connecticut's homeschool laws, see if there are areas where they could be tightened up. That focus on homeschooling has ignited sharp opposition from Republicans.
I'd like to talk with the legislature about ways we can stay in better communication, make sure those kids are being well protected, not just in school, but at homeschool as well.
Governor Ned Lamont zeroed in on Connecticut's homeschooling laws in reaction to those stomach-turning allegations of abuse in Waterbury. He strongly hinted he'd support tightening the state's homeschool regulations in order to catch potential abuse. Top Republicans fired back.
To turn this to a homeschool issue, to me, is disingenuous. And it's really, to me, smells of don't let a crisis go to waste.
Kendall Laura said he views the governor's move as a thinly veiled attempt to use the Waterbury case as cover for an attack on the broader homeschooling movement, a movement that has found common cause with conservatives around the country.
Democrats love bureaucracy, so the more people they could get into the government system to regulate, that's what they enjoy doing.
As he looks to tighten oversight of homeschooling in Connecticut, we asked Lamont about investigations into whether or not the state agencies he leads dropped the ball.
I think that's ongoing. Look, DCF was there, they visited. I'm told the family said DCF is bothering us, and DCF referred it to the Waterbury police. But you're right, something dropped through the cracks, and this went on for 20 years.
One Democrat who represents Waterbury in the state legislature said he's been pressing DCF and other agencies for answers. Has he been satisfied with the replies he's gotten?
In my honest disclosure, absolutely not. Just in their answers, you can see the gray areas that most people think they've done all they could do, when in actuality, a person disappeared off the grid for years and nobody asked a question.
Back on the other side of the aisle, a top Republican reiterated calls from her party for public hearings on the case and said that the state shouldn't single out homeschoolers.
I think the best thing we can do is have a public hearing, air out what happened, learn more information before we start accusing one particular group of being the problem.
That desire for hearings has some bipartisan support, including from Waterbury's Representative Reyes.
Absolutely. I can't see how this won't have a public hearing.
And important to note here, we don't actually know what happened to that young man, if he was actually homeschooled after he was pulled out of the public school system. It's just one of many unanswered questions thus far in this case, questions that could be answered by subsequent investigation or those proposed public hearings, which to date have not yet been scheduled. Live at the state capitol, Mike Cerulli, News 8.